guess who's back? Back again. We got Ginny, we got MP, and this time joining us is going to be Twiggy. A little switcheroo happening, but Twiggy, welcome to the lovely analyst desk. Lovely to have you.
It's lovely to be here. It's a lovely place. I haven't been here before. I haven't been on Polaris before, so it's great. It's so pretty.
Yeah, I mean the logos and everything.
Yeah,
they have
exactly.
Here,
The logo,
the studio is
screen.
insane.
Oh my god, it is good.
Absolutely stacked out in Excel last game as well. Kind of insane, 13-6, pretty dominant showing from them, Twiggy. And that game against KOVA wasn't looking too good for KOVA. They're now going to be heading to Icebox. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, KOVA kind of gave Excel an inch and Excel took a mile. It was kind of like they focused their attention on one part of the map, and Excel went, mid's open. Let's go in there. Let's try and wrap around them. And it turns out KOVA weren't really paying attention to mid. So, you know, it's kind of, you know, KOVA weren't playing badly. It was just, you know, you give Excel a little bit of breathing room. They'll take everything they can get. Alive just pushes in, finishes things off. The last 2 rounds were pretty much Alive diff.
Yeah, absolutely. And talking about Alive, in that matchup, he had 10 entries. 12 times he faced an opponent first. Only 2 times he lost. It's insane. I don't think we had that in group stage, even in a single match. And now playoffs, first match, Alive just comes, hey, I'm on a second level. I'm alive. I see what you did there. Mo, once again, not surprising. 4 clutches, actually. 2 1v1s, 2 1v2s. I mean, what can we say that we haven't said about Mo already? He's just so good on an individual level, but also a supporting player.
Yeah, maybe we can say bootcamp diff, buff, you know, probably for Excel, they're doing absolutely amazing, but we're not going to be heading into Icebox, which, you know, is their map pick. So what are you expecting to be seeing there from Excel, considering how they played?
I mean, Excel is an interesting one on Icebox. They haven't won every map every time they've played Icebox, which is interestingly, you know, not a common story for Excel. But they seem pretty confident on it. They didn't have the best of times last time they played it. And coming into KOVA, who they've only played it once, but they won it that one time they played it. KOVA likes to take a lot of map control, not get too aggressive. I mean, that's pretty standard from them. Excel are a team that like to get very aggressive, and it hasn't quite worked out for them all the time. But I think definitely, you know, if they can come together on this one, if they feel a little bit more confident, they can definitely kind of get things done quickly for KOVA, but you know, they don't want to overstep their bounds.
Yeah, I think, yeah, KOVA definitely wants to take map control in this map, but they played against Alliance last time. Alliance, who has been on a really downturn, doesn't really get that much attention here, like 1-6 after a crazy last season. So I wouldn't put too much weight on that match against the Alliance in Icebox. Obviously, Excel, they have played only 2 Iceboxes in this season as well, against Hookars and Finest. 5-13 against Finest and 13-5 against Hookars, which was the last time in week 6. I think they have improved quite a lot on Icebox. They have improved as a team as well, and I think that Finest game was overall just a really tough game for them. I think right there on week 2 when they played against Finest, they weren't, I think, all there. I think they were kind of looking where they want to play, how they want to play, their synergy. They were just settling down, and I think right now, this time, the Icebox is going to look so much different. It's going to look the same as against Hookars.
Yeah, let's have a look at Agent Select to see whether it's going to look different or the same as to when they locked in last time. And we're going to be starting off by looking at Excel specifically. They have a pretty standard calm. This is definitely what we expected. In terms of the Reyna for Ale, Twiggy, we said that this was something that we were also expecting to see. Teams do feel comfortable running the Reyna. How you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, KOVA seem to like to play what I like to call the Sentinels comp, you know, back in the day. Back in the day when Sentinels kind of looked absolutely impossible to beat, they like to run the Jet. And the and the hecking love Sentinels. And the reason why is that Jet and that Reyna, you can take so much map control. If you've got 5 individually brilliant players, they can really push in, they can really get stuff done. So KOVA, if they're feeling confident, if they can get that map control, they can really get work done. It's more XL. This is their standard comp, double initiator, double smoke. They need to really hold them back for as long as possible.
Yeah, vibing on the mic, we got Pavlos and Niakai once again. Guys, do your thing.
We'll do our thing, and that is commentating over pixels. And these pixels will align a beautiful map, an icy wasteland, if you will. Icebox, right, heading into this one. We know who the clear favorites are. Excel playing on their home ground. KOVA, they're going to have a tough time.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that XL have kind of made themselves quite notorious for Icebox being one of their best maps. They've proven time and time again against a variety of opposition that they really are one of the better teams on Icebox in this region. And, well, for damn good reason. KOVA, they've got their work cut out for them.
Yeah, and KOVA, of course, playing an old school comp with a double duelist on this map.
I like it.
With the new meta changes, let's see how capable it is of shutting down XL.
Hey, you know, when sometimes things don't work too well, just throw it back old school, see how things happen. Not about start at all.
Not starting at all. Ali first to get the first shot through. XL have dropped already a play. Onto the A site they may go. KOVA. It looks like they're wrapping around, but they're happy to go for the retake.
I think they're going to give them the space. The question is now, what do they do in terms of the retake? Additionally, where the spike comes through, this is important.
This is very important. The spike won't end up going down. Mo gets shut down. Spike in the middle of no man's land, but Paddytech and Chihuahua are looking to trade it right back out. But Alive is the only XL player left. He's only got his headhunter, and up against the 3 of KOVA. That ain't going to be easy with 4 bullets.
1, 2, okay. It's a doable.
No, okay, that's it. All right. Simple maths, Neo. Simple maths.
1, 2, oh no. It's like when that third one hit the floor, you're like, well, lucky. Pack it in, fellas. Let's go next round. KOVA, good start from them. Really decent start. And, you know, we already mentioned that XL, they've proven themselves as being one of the better teams in this map. But to be fair to KOVA, they do not mind picking in towards Icebox. It's a map in which they don't mind floating at the very least. I wouldn't call it a comfort pick, but I'd say it's one of those ones that it's a necessity, and they've at times proven themselves to be relatively formidable on it. It's really not a bad start there at all, and I think for me, it has to be a really strong defender side start here if they even want to kind of question taking this map.
Yasmin. Sort of lurking around. Chihuahua will be spotting him a little bit of a head-to-head with the Vipers, but the rest of XL, the meat and potatoes of this push, is that A side. Of course, maybe to be telegraphed with the Aljoint going out for scouting duty. Sutma finding a kill. Oh, if he sprays out through the smoke, could find a couple of picks. Foxy with that shorty can be all dangerous. And it seems that Sutma had no clue, and he's still in there. He's found himself a Spectre, and that's even more damage. He's got Chihuahua close by, but he's going to have to buy some time here because it's coming all the way around from mid, and it will not be in time. KOVA 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, that was all reliant on Foxy finding potentially a third there, and then we could have had conversations about, you know, maybe KOVA dropping the ball a little bit, but no. I mean, all they had to do was play the numbers game, play for the firepower, and it worked. It was quite simple, quite effective, but, I mean, Foxy gave it a fairly decent go. The shorty finds a kill, and often we can say that as commentators, and then he gets himself one more of a Spectre in what is essentially an eco. For them to find themselves a couple of kill and a spike going down really is a silver lining in what was, relatively speaking, not too much of an attempt.
I know this is a very minute thing, but I really love on that shorty, whenever you get a kill, more things are drawn on that specific skin. That's really cool.
It's the one that colours itself in, right? Yeah. And you get an ace, so it's like a full canvas.
Yeah.
Picasso himself would be proud. 2-0. I mean, they need a...
If Picasso were lived in this day and age, man, he'd be thrown off. He'd be thrown off. Anyway, let's see if the Picassos of VALORANT excel are able to get themselves out of this pickle. They've got Vandals to work with this time around, but it looks like if they head on towards the left side of the map, they'll be greeted up against a lot of firepower.
I'm just wondering if you brought Picasso back to life, what do you think of VALORANT? That's a question I ask myself daily.
That guy already had problems.
Yeah, I think this might have been a step too far, and that is a question for KOVA too. Is this, you know, map, this series against XL from a deficit, is that a step too far from them? We'll have to, you know, ponder this one as this one plays out. Aljo, going for information, finds a little bit too.
All right. Oh, Foxy, that's aggressive. That's very aggressive, and he pays for it. And he didn't really have reinforcements there. Ali looking to close up that gap. Is Shed to find a kill. Mo is able to shut it back down. But they're pivoting elsewhere, right? Chihuahua's cleared up some space towards mid. Alive is going on an A-site venture. But look how close Shed is keeping score to this. Together with Sutma, they're doubling up to find the spike. That is massive. And only 30 seconds to work with. This is XL's buy round, and it's being shut down. Okay, spike recovered, but they need to rotate quickly. That is Yasmin down, but they've only got 20 seconds to rotate towards this A-site.
Oh, no. Yeah, right, that's unfortunate. Yeah.
So quickly.
It's all down to now 15 seconds left to work with.
He's got it.
Yeah, surely. Surely, Shed, all he has to do is just play this one nice and slow. If he can try and keep a Vandal alive, that'd be great.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Okay.
Chihuahua falls, which makes it a 1v2.
Yeah, I mean, that's now is doable. I was saying for him, you know, potentially play for the slow, the exits, you know, maybe you keep the Vandal, but you can make this doable. He knows they did damage to Patsec earlier, right? So for this retake, there is definitely a backbone to it.
One pick. And it's very doable. They've
He's
got
loud,
a crossfire set up though. He's allowed and he's been heard. And he cannot figure out that life is on that upper angle.
Yeah, you know, nice and simple. A little bit of post-spawn. I like the aggressive post-spawn. I've said it time and time again.
Icy, man.
And I'll always be an advocate for that aggressive post-spawn because I just don't see the point of just sitting on a site and doing nothing. Unless you have a Viper's Pit, then I can give you the benefit of the doubt. But aside from that, when you just sit on site and invite the pressure, I think you put the pressure on yourselves for no reason. That's nice. They go hunting. They hear the sound cue and they actively look towards playing for the double. They play for the numbers. So simple, so effective. Play for the contact and it works. Now, of course, we look towards round number 4. A full buy both ways.
I mean, I'm still concerned about the previous round, right? Because it seemed like Excel fell flat at the start. It was KOVA getting the first pick, so they were able to play the macro game very nicely afterwards. But have a look at this, Yasmin going on a little bit of a walk.
Ow.
And we'll be catching out Doggy. Yeah. Have to put that dog down early. I need to stop with these dog jokes.
It's unfortunate. What have the puppies done to you? Well, 2 hour falls. It's now somewhat of an aggressive push over towards B. Pass attacking Foxy with one apiece. In comes Shed, but he dashes forward. That's unfortunate.
Oh dear. And now that leaves Excel in a very good spot. 3 up against the 2 of KOVA. Approaching from different positions. Yasmin making sure he's got an adequate amount of bullets in his rifle. This is approaching. He does have a recon bolt. And there is a poison cloud available for them. Toxic screen as well, touching it, putting pressure on Excel. Paranoia expended, so is the recon bolt. Yasmin falls, their chances dwindle by the second, and that is Excel doubling up the scoreline.
And we're all tied square. This is a really important one. That was the first full buy, both sides. That was the kind of the real true test of what we can maybe start and hope to see going for the sort of longer point of this first half. A really, once again, nice approach from Excel. All they had to do in a similar scenario was, once they brought the numbers back level, is just play for the fact that they know they're going to be aggressing on towards the site with that numbers advantage. And I think it was that mistake there from Shed that became so costly. If he finds that kill and dashes away, then we're in a different scenario. All he then has to do is buy a little bit of time for the rotation to come through, and KOVA can start to find a bit of formation in terms of that retake. By him dashing forward, him falling, and the numbers falling into the hands of Excel, it more or less confirmed the second here. But shit, I'm liking this aggression. He's getting a lot of information.
It's going quite a bit.
Ole.
Okay, there you go, and that's the pick. Ale getting a little bit too greedy there, but with Shed's push on the back end, it still is fathomable. Oh, over-eager, over-zealous by Foxy. And that is costly, man. Yeah, wall comes through, comes out early. Can get shot down, but Toxins do conceal it so it doesn't fall straight out of the bat. Mo aggressing, but it's a double up. This is Excel playing a little bit too greedy, and they're paying for it. They're dropping all across the board. Paddytech can do all he wants, but there's just one too many players there. KOVA gained the lead, and now I've got 3 rounds in the bag.
Yeah, and that entire round was all Excel's fault. It's all their problems. I mean, they, in multiple occasions, overextended it and gave KOVA freebies. And I don't see what was the idea in terms of the sort of somewhat over-aggressive stance they were looking for there. They knew they were coming in with a slightly better kind of, well, everything to work with. Firepower, utility, armor, all of the goods that were necessary to kind of just confirm that round. And they just give free kills time and time again over towards KOVA. That is a real rookie error from Excel that we don't expect too often.
Yeah, a few oversights there from Excel. This time Foxy goes for the early TP, doesn't really give time for KOVA to approach quicker. They've heard it. You know it's going on. Oh, the drop! This time Ali falls, and Shed is forced back. Can't use his dash straight out of the bat as he has been suppressed. And Foxy, this time, does have a dark cover to use to move into that TP. Shed, he's so close. He knows he's getting back into action. Dash enabled, at least halfway. And KOVA have got only 2 defenders towards his site. Oh, this is going to be difficult. They've got 3 now. Shed getting the first and getting out of there. An all-important kill. Then it keeps the players in a square position. 4-4 with the scales evened out. Viper's Pit dropping towards the site can maybe allow Excel to get a spike down.
Shed's learned from his mistakes, right? He's finding that kill, falls away, and he's gonna find another one. Foxy whiffed labored spray is really costly. The alert coming through mid. The tour de force could be important, and it delivers. Sutma falls, and that is brilliant. Now there's a world in which KOVA struggle.
Now they've got to keep their backs turned try and deal with Alive. And he gets another one. That is tremendous.
The attention's drawn away. This is brilliant. Alive is playing this to perfection. He's playing the mental game.
Shed, all is up to you. Oh, dear me! Oh, okay, is this a Shed game? Is this a Shed round?
Might be.
Might as well be. Alive, oh, he's hearing it. That's the call. Oh, he even gets the kill Alive. You're making me want to be alive for way more than I should be. As long as I can see you play. Spike planted. Oh, Shed, this is just too darn difficult. Has to figure out where Chihuahua is with a Viper Spit in front of him. He's going to have to go down to 1 point of health. Chihuahua is going ring around the roundabout. Oh, dash. Yeah, the Viper Spit will go down, and that is where Shed will fall. Excel. It all came down to Alive, didn't it?
Yeah, Shed gave it a really good attempt. I'll give him the credit where the credit's due, but that was all down to one man. That is a genius play in through mid. We've spoken multiple times about kind of XL in terms of their lurks, right? They're brilliant. Chihuahua is one of the most notable for it. I mean, he is the guy who goes on his grand adventures looking for information. And I always say that I think a lot of success from XL comes off the back of kind of Chihuahua's individual lurks. They go and find so much information. But Alive there, that's genius. In towards mid, slowing the tempo down on an individual point, and because of it, causes a lot of issues over towards KOVA. They constantly had to watch their back, and that's not exactly what you want.
No. The economical situation doesn't look too grand either. Reminiscent of the Greek economy. Yeah, not too great.
That's a self-burn there,
That is a
technically.
very big self-burn. They're getting back.
Getting back.
It'll be okay. And let's see if KOVA can get back sooner or later, right? I mean, we've got a Vandal to work with. It's not all that bad. Excel know this and kind of expect maybe KOVA going for a risky play, therefore traversing very carefully. In a fairly polarized position, right? There's two players on both sides that are trying to figure out something out.
Yeah, I mean, they're just testing that water right now, and they're giving a lot of space over towards XL.
Yasmin has got such a greedy position, and it pays off. Oh, maybe able to find another one. Oh, Yasmin! Oh, you're crazy, man. Shed wants some of that juice as well. Although, it's been squeezed out of him. We're looking at a 2 versus 4, but it's KOVA with a lesser buy to completely switch up the script. Chihuahua and Mo, the two clutch meisters together. In unison, suit him up, maybe to spot them, doing some damage. Oh, finds a finishing blow as well. Goodness me, how does this even happen?
How? Of all the rounds as well, to find 1 kill early, I mean, fair enough, I'll give him the credit for that. But to be continuously finding easy free picks, XL do one thing that I hate to see on attacking sides when you're against ecos. Stop overcomplicating things, just go. In that situation, they went for a somewhat slow committal play over towards B. Yasmin finds that freebie, yeah, it's great. That second shot, I'll give him the credit, that is something special. But then they rotate over without having any information or control over towards mid, and they know that, or they should at least know, that there's a real potential KOVA could have pushed their way forward to cut off rotations, and that's exactly what they did. XL, they'll be kicking themselves that one. That was a really rough round to watch. When you look at the buy that KOVA had, which was what? A couple of sheriffs, a 1 marshal here or there, a Spectre, just to kind of pad things out a little bit. In that sort of round, they're hoping for kind of, being realistic, to find themselves a couple of kills. That's about it. To go away with a round with that sort of buy that XL were coming in with, I'm concerned.
Quite. Quite. We've seen XL come back from those. So I don't think it'll be too much of an issue. And I think the timeout is well timed as well, getting quicker into this. But man, it's crazy to me, dude. Yasmin, the IGL, I'm just going to call him the finish monster for the rest of the tournament, because I want to see more of that. Imagine if your captain steps up and just does that. How motivating it is for the rest of the team to rally up.
Yeah, I mean, one of those calls is just him just screaming. How did he even hit that second shot? I mean, I would be
His calls are probably more along the lines of get wrecked.
Yeah, just losing it.
Don't know what get wrecked is in finish, but...
We'll ask our resident Finn. He can translate for us on the desk.
We'll ask
yeah, exactly that.
MP.
Well, in towards round number 8, it's a slim lead for KOVA, but I got to say, with this sort of buy, they should be able to extend
that's
it.
Aggressive. Ali wants to go in, is able to have a dash available for Shed. Oh, he gets one. Superman's able to find another. Very aggressive from the KOVA side. I'm not quite sure how strong this is for them, because losing an equal amount of players on the defensive side really does come down to whether you have a good read in the mid-round.
Well, so far, so slow. Shot about to come through. Aldrone to follow suit. For the time being, XL were just trying to test the waters as best as they can, but there's really no information to go off, and they already lost a couple of numbers already. They really don't have any idea of what KOVA are looking for here.
They found weapons though, Neo, now.
That's true.
And the fact that Yasmin is pushed up far towards B, they can account for this area being clear and the rest of the team can focus on this A site. They don't know about mid though. That's a big no-go. Oh, but they're sticking around and that's Chihuahua finding the kill. Suitma's down and out, which means Vicious is a solo defender. All eyes on him, but Foxy, make sure he has no eyes.
That is very true, as a couple of bullets went through them. And that's, you know, a really unfortunate angle for him to be caught in for Vicious. When you look towards how he was trying to set up there, once this sort of crossfire falls apart, that whole hold falls apart. Now Yasmin in for the rotate, he needs something special. Spawning it out, Labid Spray, Mo will be able to quite comfortably pull that one apart. A thrifty round in favor of XL. We questioned them against an eco, and they struggled. And an eco of their own, they replicated the way we had hoped for them. Now they've got a nice comfortable bite to come through. One thing that you love to see is alive on that operator because he's so good with it. This is, for me, the turning tides of XL, at least putting up somewhat of a stable first half.
As much as I want to give credit to XL this round of actually like picking up where the slack is given from KOVA, I really think it was a wrong decision for KOVA to push through. Yes, okay, we're talking about Shed and Ali on the double duelist setup. That's how you want to play this composition. But you need to have a lookout on XL's economy and figure out when's the right time to do that. When you're up against an eco, you let them come into you. You know you've got the firepower advantage. That was a little bit over risky.
And the big thing I really didn't like too much is that KOVA didn't use too much utility. They kind of allowed XL to take a lot of map control early doors and then just didn't even reply with any sort of utility. Yasmin going to take the first kill though. Mo falling's important.
We're not really giving this round too many... We're not really attributing this round to KOVA too much, but I mean now that they've got a couple of weapons to work with, not impossible.
For you.
KOVA are pretty strong on that read towards the B side and pretty comfortable, but look at the call that XL can just make.
Love it.
Right, Chihuahua's just chilling here. For this entire time, he's known that there's nobody here, guys. Just come over, get that spike down. We'll watch a couple of movies.
Oh, so simple. Oh, so effective. Rotating coming in now and talk about this aggressive
So
post plant. This could be brilliant. Chihuahua taking the initial bit of contact, may I say. Something going to fall, and that's important. The res has come through, but Yasmin surely follows suit. It's oh so easy.
Oh, it really is, and they're starting to walk in. Finally, Chihuahua has to die, which means it's still a 3-on-3, and weapons can be recovered on the KOVA side. Foxy, hello!
Oh, no.
That is tough, because now the Guardian falls, but Paddytech could be the caveat in the mix. Oh, they're all behind them. They might not be able to get to the spike in time. Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh, Fragment does drop, and Vicious is low. That is crucial, and I gets another. Paddytech gets his kill as well. XL on 5, but I got scared.
That was dicey. That was seriously dicey. I mean, when you talk about that slow rotate coming through mid, the idea is great by XL in terms of a post bar. No one expects him to not be on site, or at the very least close, right? But that got very uncomfortable. Halfway defuse, and if it wasn't for the nade coming through, I mean, that really would have been a freebie of a round for KOVA.
I mean, if Paddytech wasn't low either.
Oh, yeah, imagine. I mean, there's a lot of narratives there where that was really uncomfortable. Paddytech, very nice lineup from him, finding himself a second as well to clean things up, but realistically, it shouldn't have needed to have been cleaned up with a bit of a clutch there.
Now moving in. XL, I've got the upper hand perhaps. Very good mid-round calls given away. And Chihuahua often the man to figure that all out. He was once again. He's left alone towards that A site. It's red. Foxy has done this one too many times and KOVA know exactly how to deal with it now.
Yeah, it's becoming textbook, and it's becoming a little bit too easy to read for them, because once again he's falling in a very, very similar angle, tapping away at range as well, Yasmin, testing those waters, but now he's going to buy some time.
Ooh, okay, Paddytech. If you're able to trade it out like that, it can't be that bad. No, I'm a controller for their side, but there's alert coming in, and it's Chihuahua. Vicious deal was them. And now XL have got one focus and one focus only. Null Command expended towards this B site. They're looking to push through, but they need to get some of these kills. Suitma looking to push by, alive, anticipating it, and now the scales are even.
This is looking a little bit dicey. Harley in towards the back line. Still, all he has to do is hold from range. Just try and buy some time for that flank to come through.
Oh, this could be massive. If they can't read Shed's position, this could fall into KOVA's hands very quickly. Mo knows of it. He's holding that angle, and he's able to pull the trigger in time. Vicious. He's looking mighty and delicious. What can Paddytech do here? Flash drive to the side, finds a different angle to work with, and it's all down to Ale. Can he isolate them? Paddytech is so down low. Mo is all that is remaining now for Excel. The spike is touched, but he's got a Hunter's Fury.
Easy.
It will be defused halfway, and he will be able to find the second shot on Ali as well. Excel on 6.
Oh, again, another round where it goes down to fine margins, but in a post-plant scenario, the Hunter's Fury is your best friend, and XL make it all too prevalent. Really nice play from Mo. He finds that rotating player. That's the important one for me. Shed was the biggest crux to all of the success that KOVA were looking for in that round. We saw kind of Yesman playing the nice passive angle, Ale playing the passive angle, which was the backlines, to try and buy time for Shed's rotation to find some success. And the fact that he's immediately shut down more or less confirms the round going in favor of XL. The second Shed fell, and he fell without kind of finding any kills. That more or less confirmed things.
Indeed. And now KOVA again in trouble. Whether they turn the Sheriff round or in their favor again is a different aspect, but you know, it's not really super realistic to achieve that over and over again. Ooh, very important shutdown there of the dagger. Means they don't know that there's 3 of them nearby, but will it matter? Especially if Foxy's entering like this. Entry hero, and IGL, and controller. What else do you need? Okay, double Sheriff shots coming through from KOVA. Chihuahua's there for the rotations. They know where the 2 players are. Oh!
Okay,
Okay.
right.
Calm down. Supma, that could be a weapon to be collected.
Surely.
Oh, he's got the read. He can hear it.
Oh my God.
He knows exactly what's going on.
And a Vandal was a present, a cherry on top, just to say hello for him. He's going to pick that one up, and this now becomes very uncomfortable. Surely they don't expect this.
Supma, KOVA are looking at your screen right now and are hoping you can pull 2 aces out of that sleeve.
No,
That's
surely.
the first. All right. Ace of spades. Where are the clubs? Oh! All right. Maybe could be a diamond in the making, but first there needs to be an explosion. There needs to be some pressure. Supma. Close by!
Oh, no.
Oh! Alive is good!
Oh, again, that is another scenario, and we've seen this time and time again. And I think for me, so far from what we've seen in this entire series, this is what has made the success of XL. When it comes to clutch situations, they don't lose. But KOVA, more often than not, just can't seem to take that final step across the finish line. That got so close, so uncomfortable for XL. But when it mattered most, Alive was close and personal. Shotgun operator for him, and it works a treat. Now, though, as we head into round number 12, it's 7-4 in favor. Are we going to get the exact replica once again of 8 rounds for XL in their first half?
Very much could be. They've been good at reading the scenarios, right? They've been good at reading kind of how to play around this. And I mean, most of the time it came down to clutches, but they still have those up their sleeve as well.
And on the fly, they're so good at adapting.
Hunter Shuri, preemptive. Not finding any tags. XL just back away. Yeah.
Perfect.
Nothing connected.
Bit fortunate, but they'll take it nonetheless. They just about spaced out in enough time to, of course, now start to, once again, slow that tempo down, but make the committal play over towards A.
And KOVA,
They're
talk about committing, right? They had all the other players towards that A site, but now they started to back away because XL aren't showing a thing.
Oh, no.
This is perfect. XL know exactly how to play around with KOVA with that Viper's Pit. They know exactly what's going on. Shed is just so far away, which means XL can just play the numbers game. But when Ale is able to lurk into the shadows like that and run away with a kill, you need to be careful because that's a spike out into the open. Fragment onto him, Alive, needs these openings. Yesman on a very tricky position. Oh, you can see a barrel, the paranoia comes in. Oh, Yesman. Oh, there's so much tension.
Surely they don't clear here.
So much tension. Ali is able to reveal himself again. Foxy looking to come back. 3 against 3, but there's not much time to work with, and they need to get that spike down. Shed might be joining in, but how long will he take? Yesman with another.
Oh, no.
Ali shutting them all down. It's all down to Foxy.
Oh, no, not like this.
Foxy. That's the spray down. That's the first. You've got 13 seconds for the next 2. Misses the mark on Yesman, and that means KOVA close out the half with 5 rounds in the bag.
And do you know what? Fair play to KOVA as well. They did not have the entirety of their team there. I mean, Shed was still on the B site for more or less the entirety of that round, and they did not need him at all. It's really nice. And what they showed as well was the crossfire. It's so simple yet so effective. And again, for XL, the classic case that we've seen from them when they do struggle is due to overcomplications.
I mean, I really like XL's play because I kind of feel the fact that Shed over-rotated there was due to that B site, because often XL have been so good at the macro play. They had a lot of bait and switches. This wasn't one of them. No. But they still fell flat when it came to those kills. Ali was the player to highlight that round.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Ali had a really decent job of finding a kill, falling away, isolating those fights, repositioning so well. And I think probably the key thing is that he individually stopped a lot of that tempo and really slowed down XL's ideas.
mid push by Excel.
I like it.
I mean, they don't have much. I mean, we're looking at a pistol round, and KOVA look to switch up positions with them.
I like this.
Do you expect so many players on your back line so early? I mean, we saw this pistol round in Breeze, round 1, literally, of this series.
But knowing XL and knowing Chihuahua, surely they've got to expect the fly.
Right?
Tapping away, Chihuahua.
He's
Bit of
hurt.
damage, got to fall away.
Has to. Mo moves in. Oh, peekaboo, this could be the peak of the ages. That's one.
Oh, no.
Mo is here to mow some grass. Paddy Tech, Foxy also chiming in. They all join in on that fray, and they don't want this pistol win.
Oh, the lawnmower cuts right through them. That is so easy. Like a hot knife through butter, XL are going to find themselves yet another pistol round. And if I'm right in saying, XL are still flawless on pistol rounds. I mean, that is testament to them. And I think it's also been very, very important for the early part of each and every half. XL have controlled, dictated the tempo and the playstyle because they keep winning those pistols. And that's been one of the biggest crutches towards KOVA. The playstyle for them on full buys is fantastic, but it takes them so long to get to a full buy because they can't win out the pistols.
The tactics are highlighted in this tactical shooter, right? And Excel often switching things up
I like it.
frequently. Who doesn't like this, man? This is good stuff. And if they're going to be our representatives of Northern Europe again, consistency is key.
Of course, consistency is key, is king as well. And I mean, that's been a testament to XL. Only losing 1 game throughout the regular season, got to give them credit.
Way better than the previous regular season, right?
Mm-hmm.
But a lot.
They were shaky.
They were. No one really expected them to pull it off.
Everyone thought Alliance,
They
right?
took everybody down. It was a lower bracket run and a reverse sweep in the grand finals.
Yeah. Everyone thought Alliance, and look what the Alliance are this season.
Ah, yeah, completely different roster,
no,
obviously.
yeah, of course.
But, you know, the legacy of the org supersedes them.
Rest in peace. Prayers up. But still, as we head into round 14, it's nice and slow. Yes, it's fallen. Foxy might
Foxy.
get a freebie, and he will do, in fact.
He wants more. Okay.
Overextended.
Bit of a showdown in mid. Cowboys having at it. Of course, it's not high noon. Chihuahua will be dictating this. Oh, this man is the king of lurks. The king of lurks, I say. I do declare.
Brilliant. That's textbook. I mean, it's so simple, isn't it?
Crown this guy.
We've seen a couple of times with these low buys have been problematic for XL, and for what I was saying for them, you know, we saw it in that even in the first half on a couple of occasions, right? They against low buys, they would overcomplicate things. That time they do the oh so simple, oh so standard, the beautiful, my favorite, OW, and it works a treat. Brilliant stuff there, I gotta say. And now we start to look towards potentially posing the question: is this too little, too late?
Is it?
I'm getting worried. I mean, this is just a bonus for XL. So anything XL find it, even if they find 2 kills, that is a real silver lining because they don't have the best of buys to compete with KOVA here.
You're right. KOVA losing this. It's over. We already knew it was going to be rough after losing Breeze.
Yeah, that was the win factor, right?
That was their win factor. But we've seen a switcheroo of map picks before. Wouldn't have been a first. And where the stakes are the highest in playoffs. Yeah, okay, it's not the lower bracket yet, but it's the first game of the of the playoffs, isn't it?
It is an important one. I mean, it makes a statement early doors. That's what you're looking for.
Yeah, and you could see Alive saw the movement from mid earlier on, which has given the call to the rest of the team to rotate over. XL have been really good at these responses and know that they want to play these close angle positions. Alive spooked out a bit there. Wrapping back to the B site, all of the zero command utilized. Now they know what's happening. Chihuahua close by, Spectre's ahead of Ali. Oh, dear me, this is going from bad to worse for KOVA. Losing 1 duelist after the other. Now the rest will have to fall as well because Paddy Tech is going in aggressive pursuit. Lines up 2. He's got a heal available, and if he's able to find a kill and an orb, maybe a resurrection. But no, that is too far of a risk. They're heading towards the B site.
But they can't lose this. You cannot lose this round with the investment that KOVA had coming in towards it, and they were making their way over towards the B site. There's someone there to greet them.
No.
2-hour catches in transition. Spike falls. I think it's done.
Yeah, the Poison Cloud just went in just in time for Chihuahua to catch him out. There's barely any time for Yasmin to work with. Oh, he's just trying for them to walk into his crosshair, but
brilliant.
the fact that there's 1 in front, 1 behind means that he's caught in the middle like a sandwich.
Oh, that's brilliant. That, again, another prime example of XL just playing to their playstyle. They don't differ from what they're trying to achieve each and every round, and that's been one of the biggest testaments to them. On the defender side, they're very, very good at manipulating their playstyle to really make things uncomfortable for KOVA. They try to go for that standard A take, and they get immediately stopped by the smallest amount of utility, and then they get caught in two minds. I think we have to start asking a couple of questions about kind of what that mid-round call was there. I think it was left a little bit too late for me. They kept trying to kind of force this blunt edge through, and it just could not seem to crack the surface.
No, they brought a butter knife
To a sword fight.
to a sword fight. On guard. Imagine doing on guard. Butter knife. Yeah. Can be used for slapping more than cutting. All right, there we go.
Ooh.
Alive.
Yeah.
That's a slap to the face of Sutma. Oh, Yesmond as well. Yeah, this is difficult. We never expected KOVA to get anything out of this unless Ali finds more monstrous kill like that. Not against Alive, not on that angle. All right, this is a quick one. This is just a quickie. Only one will drop for XL as they get the victory. They're 2 rounds away, Neo, from closing out game 1 of playoffs.
Sadly, you know, I like to say I'm a hopeful individual, I'm a positive individual, but this one feels done and dusted. I mean, XL, we know statistically speaking, they are the better side on not only this map, but pretty much every map when it comes to these two teams. They have a very similar map pool, and this map individually has been a real shining light for XL, and it's showing. I mean, both on attacking and defender side, they've just been that step ahead. And so far, since being on the defender side in the second half, XL, they honestly look pretty unscathed. They look so, you know, calm, tempered, mannered in every way they're trying to perform things. I mean, KOVA looking dicey now.
Bit of an adaptation there. I think they would have wanted it live a little bit further forwards, but it doesn't seem like it's mattering here. Look at all this.
Oh,
Look at Chihuahua frag. It's a beautiful sight to see. Not for KOVA, though. Not for KOVA fans either. Swedes and Finnish alike want these guys to succeed. And it seems their hopes may not be so well placed. Shedding Yasmond all that remained. What can you do? The two Finns will have to fall in quick succession. 12 for XL. They are 1 away now to close out the series.
Yeah, you know, XL, they came in towards this stage of playoffs being, on paper, the favourites. And so far, they're proving it. The #1 seed looking to go all the way and once again be our representative, our pathfinder here in Northern Europe. And I gotta say, I've been super impressed with them. In these opening 2 maps, it has been a textbook from them. So simple, so effective, and a real couple of questions have to start being asked now about KOVA. Do they have that mental resilience, the ability to resurge in such a deficit? This will require something special, and I think that might be just a step too far.
Shed, he's looking for that little special speck of magic. But it's Ali to actually do it. That's a Vandal. Upgrades it from a Guardian. That's a War, but you're walking into the jaws of Patty Tech, and my oh my are they sharp. Flash Drive. Another Flash Drive. Viper's Pit dropped for KOVA. Looks like they're getting the entries. Vicious on the back end. Chihuahua looking to trade it back. Not so easy, but he's holding down the fort, isn't he? Yesmond looking to put him to his grave. Alive, still alive. And we're looking at a 2-on-2.
Well, so far, so good. Ali, hang on a second.
Spike left behind. They're looking to take these trades. They're looking to go in. Alive falls. Down to Foxy. Down to Foxy indeed. Oh. Oh, what is this? He TP's away. That is going to distract Yesmond. He's got no clue where Fox is going to come from. This is all mind games.
It is. It's chess in the game, but the only thing is he's given him a free spike plant.
It seems like he's expecting it. He's so expecting it, or does he? This is making him second guess.
His head's all over the place.
Oh, it really is. Oh, no! Shots missed by Foxy. Paranoia to the wrong side. Yesmond gets it done. KOVA, hold on.
God, that was an incredible performance of two geniuses playing this mind game, and somehow, some way, KOVA lived to see another day. The lifeline's extended, and now, potentially, we have a little bit of a story on our hands here. We thought, by the way things were panning out, this could be job done, game done. We start looking towards series #2 of the day, but no, not so much anymore. KOVA, there's still life beating in this animal. It's the question of, can they still keep it going?
Well, let's paint the story here, right? KOVA, the only team that hasn't made changes this season from the entirety of the teams competing in Polaris, right? XL, the champions of the previous season, maybe the disappointment not maybe, quite definitely disappointed us over in promotion.
Yes.
Now they're looking for redemption, get back at the top, and it's consistency we're looking at. And closing out this series in a determined fashion straight out of the bat is exactly what they're looking for. KOVA, underdogs.
Yeah, I mean,
massive underdogs.
we've always said consistency is king, right? And that is the biggest thing. And for XL, when we talk about in a general perspective towards promotion, really wasn't too phenomenal from them. They were losing against sides that on paper we would probably not expect them to, especially in the way they had in the regular season. But if we talk about consistency, that's where it's KOVA's bread and butter. Same roster as you mentioned, the exact same play styles. But at the same time, that makes them slightly readable. And we've seen the same sort of scenarios.
Are you saying they could be consistently bad?
No, I think that's a little bit harsh. No, I would say consistently bad. I would say, you know,
Consistently
consistently average.
Yeah, consistently average.
Nothing wrong with average.
Yeah, well, that's what
In a
they all
playoff
say.
game,
That's what they all say.
Exactly. In a playoff game, though, I think average is probably not great. And that has been the story here into map number 2. It's been slightly average.
Oh, okay. Well, the HUD is giving us some spoilers. Chihuahua end up falling very quickly here. And the HUD still thinks XL are in timeout, but maybe that's where KOVA is taking them.
Maybe, you know, maybe they're putting the pressure on. Check and find one more. Hang on a second, X-Warrior.
Oh, they might have opened up the A site completely. They've got mid to play with around. Better Live is looking for a look. He needs to be careful from 2 different angles. Ale is there, and he'll be retrieved. Oh, okay, that's uncomfortable. Foxy gets a kill onto the site as well. This could be turned around very quickly.
No way.
Mo's alive and fighting. Superma on the site. Yesman with a backstab of his own. We're on 2v2 territory where Mo is able to hold on to the site. Yesman behind him. It's a duel, baby. But Yesman will shut it all down. KOVA are still in this.
Oh, that is what you love to see it. That is brilliant. It's just an absolute mess.
It's a
over towards
backstab
his-
on backstab on backstab.
You can even see as well, in towards mid, alive. He's flustered. Where's my mouse? Trying to switch back to the tour de force. He's in no man's land, and he gets a freebie of a kill there on towards Ale. He's got a gift for free, but it made no difference. KOVA still keep the story alive here. X-Warrior.
I don't know if you ever had that game of Uno where everybody on the table... No, there's 2 people next to each other and have a reverse card. It's like one throws it down, then the other one, and then the other one. And then no, it just keeps going back and forth between 2 players, and the rest of them can't do a thing.
That was the case.
Well, thankfully for XL and KOVA, they're the only 2 players in this particular matchup. There aren't any others waiting around, but, I mean, they are, essentially. There's another playoffs game to be played right afterwards, and it's essentially XL and KOVA having fun.
Do you believe? Do you believe?
Oh, it could happen, but when XL have the first pick, it gets a little bit more difficult.
Statistically speaking as well, they're so good on the first pick.
All right.
No, don't.
They're so deep on that B site, but they've left their opening towards mid.
They know he's there.
Yeah, which means they need to clear out slowly, but they're scared, man.
Don't blame them.
Who can? All right. They're moving in. Oh, Chihuahua, look at that. That's a perfect pick. He's so good at these lurks. His brain is massive. And this gives confidence to XL to wrap around, but the rotation is coming right back at a Chihuahua. They want to deal with him, but you cannot deal with this dog! You absolutely cannot. He's a bulldozer. Oh, Superma finally is able to unscrew those bolts of that bulldozer, but he's all by himself, and he will not be for long. XL take over the series very quickly, 13-7 on Icebox. They take it home and take it all with them as well.
Absolute banger of a game. We said that this was going to be XL favored, and we were right. KOVA pushing back a little, but it just was not enough.
Yeah, a certified banger. It seemed like sometimes XL was getting kind of sloppy. I think the start was kind of similar to what we had in Breeze. XL were going in with like a firepower. They weren't really reading what KOVA, expected round 1. Or one of the pistol rounds, they read KOVA perfectly, but I think XL had some sloppy stuff here. The fundamentals wasn't necessarily there, the trades. I think there was a round 4 that we're going to talk about later. It was great on fundamentals, and when they took that break, after that, I think it started looking so much better for XL. Then again, it was kind of sloppy after that.
Yeah, I mean, XL, look, you look at their comp, coming into Icebox, especially against KOVA's comp here, they have 2 smokers, they don't have a duelist, they do not have a Sage, they need to use as much utility as possible to get into sight, they didn't need to use a single piece of utility. You see all of these dry peaks here on XL's attacking sites, and it defies all logic that they were able to get so many rounds first off on that first half, but also in the second half, they didn't really have to work for any of this.
Yeah, obviously you have that double controller. Chihuahua just
What is this?
a little jump peek right there, going for that knife pullout. I don't know, EXL, they were just gaining confidence from the first map. I think coming into this map, they knew that they had the better on KOVA. They were like, yeah, we have the firepower. We don't really have to bring any stats, any set plays right here. We can just go with our aim. And I think that was exactly what EXL did. That's why KOVA got so many rounds. But in the end, EXL manages to win the round. Chihuahua just, I mean, this dog barks and it bites. Classic from Pavlos.
That's absolutely correct. When looking at EXL, their performance, it was down to those individual gunfights. It was down to saving those strategies for as long as they possibly can. And we said that the dog bark and bites, and that's exactly the case. MVP for Chihuahua, but the counterpart on the Viper, Jesmond, also walking away with that MVP.
Yeah, I mean, you look at that, and the thing is here that in a comp with no duelists, you're probably expecting the Chamber to come away with a really high ACS. You're expecting all the first kills to come from that, but it really didn't. EXL played freeform. Let's call it freeform. They definitely had a strat, I'm sure, but. No, they just kind of did what they wanted to do. It worked out for them. They won all the 50-50s they got into. They just out-aimed KOVA all over the place. And I hate to say team diff, but in a circumstance like this, where EXL were not playing a comp that worked to the way they were playing, they still managed to make it work perfectly.
Yeah, and I hate to say Viper diff, but Chihuahua, just insane. But Jesmond, he was popping off. He had those clutch rounds in the end. Maybe even a slight chance, slight glimpse onto the OT, but not quite. Jesmond was bringing the game on, but it was just too late at that point.
Yeah, one thing, however, that I am a little concerned about is the freeform that we mentioned from EXL here. Tomorrow, they're going to be playing those semis, and again, they're going to have to be in top form. They need to potentially come out with those strategies, and if they feel comfortable doing this against KOVA, who knows? This could be like a bit of a downward spiral.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're kind of. I'm not saying KOVA are definitely the lowest seed coming into this one. They are technically the lowest seed coming into the playoffs, obviously. But coming up against teams like Hookahs, like Finest, it's going to be a lot more difficult to pull off these kinds of fluid strats where they just kind of walk around the map, dry peek everything, get kills. You know, against a team that has a lot more confidence in aiming, a lot more confidence in winning those 1v1s, it's going to be a lot more difficult to do that. But I think they weren't really bothered about that today. They were playing against a team that they thought they had the upper hand on. It worked for them. I mean, you can't really fault them. 2-0 and with no real sweat.
Yeah, absolutely. I think what we saw today from EXL wasn't really anything special. I think they're still hiding that special part. Obviously, you had that fade coming in Breeze. You had some comp switches here and there, but I think set plays, they were kind of hidden right here. They were just going with that raw aim power. There was even rounds on attacking side where they just brute forced themselves into the side. They were like, okay, let's just go Foxy TP on top of yellow. Let's go distract a little bit. Go with the aim. It doesn't matter. And that's when Shed was able to get some picks, get those really good picks. I think round 4 or 6, Shed already had 12 kills. But after that, EXL was like, okay, let's chill a bit. Let's remember all of the fundamentals that we have practiced for. And I think they came in, sure, there was some gaps here and there, but still, I think it was much better than the first like 5 rounds. Yeah,
the famous words of Twiggy, go ooga booga shoot. And that's exactly what EXL did. However, we did have a couple of rounds where some good fundamentals were shown. Round number 4 MP, and I know you want to highlight this, so...
Yeah, definitely. I think round number 4 shows the potential for EXL. It really describes how this team plays. Obviously, Patitech going for these kills, getting those kills, Foxy getting 1, then Shed kind of mysterious dash. One of the things, or the biggest thing right now, I want to highlight, look at how KOVA is approaching here and how Patitech and Mo actually uses their utility. Patitech, 1 flash drive. Mo has that dart ready. The communication right here. When enemy gets really close, Patitech goes for the flash and the dart is coming right after this. Look at this. Perfect timing. Fully blinded, dart pings both of the players. So easy to take that. That is definitely one of the fundamentals, or one of the best parts of EXL's fundamentals. The utility is so good if they want it to be.
Yeah, that's exactly the case, if they want it to be. So heading into tomorrow, this is definitely something that they need to bring together. I think Icebox in general, Twiggy, did it maybe feel a little bit more shaky than the first map split?
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't think we can judge that as, you know, XL giving it 100%. I don't think they were. I think, you know, that was one of the rounds where we actually saw them use a lot of utility, and when we saw it, incredibly promising. There was so much, you know, consistency between the players. They obviously knew how they wanted to play with each other. It's just that for most of that map, we didn't see that. We didn't see, you know, Foxy using his smokes. We didn't see much other than Viper util in the early stages of the round. They did not use their initiators to full control. They just kind of acted like they had 5 duelists, walked in, get kills, and it worked for them. I mean, like, this is like judging, you know, a team that just isn't playing in a sense. It was kind of training ground-ish in the way that they just walked through. No disrespect to KOVA. Look, KOVA, yeah. I mean, they had a comp that was well-suited to Icebox. We've seen it work so many times, but early in the rounds, they didn't have that Sentinel to check their flank. They weren't looking behind them. That first round, I mean, on the second half, they just did not check their flank whatsoever. They let XL walk in behind them and give them 4 free kills. I think that's kind of what we're seeing here. It's a completely different side. These are two apples and oranges.
Yeah. Well, we have to remember XL wasn't totally dominating KOVA. KOVA might have a chance in lower bracket, that Finnish copium from me.
You can.
But yeah, I think XL, they're definitely a good team, or one of the best, if not the best, coming in here. But
yeah.
I think they just, upcoming days, they need to show those fundamentals, those set plays that they didn't have today. I would even compare today's playstyle, especially in Icebox, to Ascend's playstyle. It's more free flow. You just go with the flow, kind of call mid round. There's not like an agile necessarily calling. I think that was the case, or it looked like it.
Yep.
There was like, okay, I'm gonna make this play. I'm gonna get a kill. I'm gonna get away, and well, it worked in the end.
Yeah, it worked out in the end for XL, and it begs the question, right? Why exactly are they playing the way they do? Is it the confidence? Is it the fact that they want to hide those strats? Are they banking that they're going to be winning Polaris? They're going to be going to the VRL finals? Is that something that they just don't want to show everything that they have up their sleeves?
It's possible. I mean, we see teams do it all the time, all across different tiers of Valorant, is that teams like to kind of sit on their strats, and if they're coming up against a team that they think, we're just going to sweep this one, we don't need to try whatsoever, they do sit on their strats, they wait for the other team to make errors, and then they just capitalize off that, and I think that was a lot of what was going on both maps here, is that KOVA made small mistakes, XL swooped in, you know, took a mile out of an inch, and they're not going to be able to do this, I don't think, for the rest of the playoffs. Not whatsoever, and especially if they get into the VRL finals, it's not going to happen. They're going to need to put more effort into their games, but I think they still have it in them. We saw that round that we highlighted. They definitely had what it took to push through and just absolutely dominate, using all of that utility, using all of that synergy that they have as a team. I would like to see more of that in the playoffs. I hope they don't just sit on their haunches for the whole time and wait for other teams to do all the work for them.
No, yeah, absolutely. I don't think they're gonna do that. Obviously, it's XL. They have, I think they have the best backup there, biggest organization, I think, coming in, and I mean, one of the most experienced players on the whole regional league. You have Mo from Fnatic, Patitech from G2. There's like so much experience in this roster, and Foxy playing the IGL role, has played in multiple various teams, played in Finest as well, and obviously Finest, probably one of their better rivalries that they are looking out for.
Yeah, and IGLing specifically coming through from Foxy, I think we can really tell those in those mid-rounds where a lot of the times the decisions just made on the fly very quickly. Has that impacted XL's playstyle today as well? We've seen it in a few rounds. Do you think we can be expecting to see more of that as we head into the playoffs?
Oh, for sure. I mean, look, whenever KOVA came out with something different, you know, we saw maybe they pushed all their power onto A on Breeze and just made sure that XL couldn't get in there. You saw them make that snap decision. We go mid, we wrap around, we make them work for their win, even if they commit a lot of utility, even if they use 2-3 ults, even if they're winning those duels. If we're down 2 players against their 5, we need to come up with something different. You see that coming through in mid rounds. You see that adaptation that KOVA didn't quite have, that XL are just so good at. They're able to just turn things around on a dime and bring things forward. And that is that kind of IGL difference that they have, and maybe that bootcamp difference that they have, obviously. And yeah, we're going to see a lot more of that because other teams are going to bring something more to the table. They're going to bring something that really challenges XL to the table, and that's going to force them to adapt quickly.
Yeah, one of the things we saw in this match was KOVA actually, or XL didn't actually get that many entries compared to KOVA, because I think it was hard for Alive to get all of those entries. Yeah, obviously he went 3-0, but he didn't get that 10 entries like he did on Breeze. There was some struggles. Ale for the KOVA side, obviously a huge part of this composition, I would say, as the Reina, as the first entry. Ale had a really tough time. 11 entries challenged, only 3 won, 8 lost, and I think it was tough for KOVA to open up those rounds. XL got those really good chances for 5v4s. Also, XL were really good on those 4 versus 5 situations, and I think that is really showing how XL has come together in these past 7 weeks.
Yeah, Reina, the pick that we saw coming through from Ale on both maps specifically. We know KOVA said in the interview that they're going to be leaning more towards that comfort, leaning more towards what they feel is working out for them. But Reina, one of those agents that we don't really see played often. Do you think that could have been maybe potentially the downfall here?
Yeah, I mean, Reina is one of those agents, right? I mean, it's obvious, but you have to get value to get more value with Reina. Everything's exponential. You get that kill, you get access to your other abilities, you're able to work off of that. If you don't get those kills, if you're not able to win the 50-50s, the duels that you need to win against a team like XL, very difficult, then you're not going to get any value out of the Reina whatsoever. It would have been better to pick maybe a Killjoy on Icebox, maybe, I don't know, Chamber or a Jet there on Breeze, and it just wasn't enough. It's a great comfort pick. Reina is so powerful if you can use her to her full potential, but they just couldn't squeeze that power out of her.
Yeah, but I think Reina in this meta is really hard to play because you see a lot of KO. That literally strips Reina out of every power she has. When XL knows where the Reina is going to come, where the attack is going to come, 1-0 point, and the Reina is completely useless. Yeah, you can go for the kill, but you don't have anything for the abilities that you would have for the escape. And yeah, that shuts down Ale so much. We have seen that time and time again, and I think XL showed that really good here as well. One thing I want to point out, Alive having 8 kills with the Operator shed. Like I said, he was picking up the Operator on the first map quite a lot. We saw here and there for this map as well, but didn't get a single kill on that. And I think that was a huge difference. Like we talked about, the difference between these two duelists is huge. Alive going for the Operator more and more, and Shed doesn't really want to go there.
Yeah, Operator was not really picked up by KOVA this time around, and unfortunately, mixed with that util, mixed with the fact that you have that Reina, but you're not able to use the Dismiss to get out. You can't use the Overheal to get yourself a bit of HP back because there is that KO as well. Just kind of a lot of pieces working against them. And KOVA, they're going to have to make that lower bracket run if they want to make it to the finals because XL win 2-0. The next game that we have lined up is going to be Finest against Hookars. Personally, I am incredibly ecstatic to be seeing how that one's gonna go, but before we head into it, we're gonna throw it to a break and we'll be back very shortly.
You're nothing my way. One enemy remaining. I don't see. One enemy remaining.
He's going to be able to hold on to that Operator. He's going to get through that teleporter. A bit more safety. Secured, but he's right after him. Okay.
Yoru overrated. Chamber outdated. Long have we waited. Hookars activated. There you go.
Thanks a lot, and thanks for having me. Cheers.
They've given it to him. Okay, better than nothing. Finds another kill.
Oh, this becomes doable.
Right in front of him. And now he's got a weapon to work with, but no, he doesn't pick it up. Instead, he pushes forward.
Oh my God!
Another. Destruction! For distracted right now, but if he moves into the dark cover right away, it's his round to win! What? Goodness me, this just didn't happen!
I need a breather. That was
Seriously.
unbelievable. Shed now going to try and go aggressive, walk straight to the crosshair. Chihuahua, good for 2, looking for 3, which he delivers. You didn't need to question him, he comes online brilliantly. We were waiting for the Chihuahua show, and there it is.
But I do want to give a shout out to Chihuahua. I think he is a pain in the ass to face. I'm guessing he's sitting in a dark room because I don't know, man. Like, he is zoned in. Like,
In for another. Sopper comes in for support. Platatech a double.
Remaining.
Spraying away. Hang on a second. I counted him out, but now it's a 1 versus 1 against Vicious. He's got a fair amount of HP to work with. Holtland will come on board as well. 1 versus 1. And he manages to clutch it out. Platatech, a quad clutch at XL. See out their opponent's map pick. And what a story that is. For them to close it out. I counted them out. I sat back in my chair. I was like, hey, oh, this one's done. No,
Can I say one last thing? I gotta say, I feel really bad for Finest. We're gonna play them after Heat. And yeah, as I just said, I just feel so bad. Because we're gonna kill Kicks. We're just gonna see where he is. We're gonna kill him. And they're gonna play 4v5 permanently.
A few moments later.
Here is the aggression we see from Finest.
All the way through mid, Yassine fully blind. Takes down Lucky. It's Robbie versus the world. Do you have any choice words for them after that one?
You troll around sometimes, you know, saying they're gonna lose, but at the end of the day, you know, they were really great teammates, and I played with them for months, and it was really enjoyable. And I mean, at the end of the day, we are friends. No bad feelings towards them.
That was a really, really wholesome answer. Thank you.